Hey guys, you're coming on. Oops. Get over here, microphone. At least I don't see you. It's on. Yeah, I see you. She's an hair doctor, Trichologist Lisa Akbari. Paging the hair doctor, paging the hair doctor, paging the hair doctor, Trichologist Lisa Akbari. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and happy Sunday. Yes, happy Sunday to you. And I'm trying to get my fro right because I tell you, sometimes it's just doing what it wants to do. But that's the beauty of our fro. Well, I'm really excited about today's show. Today, we're going to talk about hair, of course, but we're going to talk about aging hair, and we're going to talk about split ends. I've got a list of questions. My email box stays full with hair questions. So we're going to talk about those as well. I'm going to get some of your questions answered for you because I'm getting a little bit of a backup there on my email box and on my YouTube page. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, as you see me prep my hair, and those of you who are on the radio, you can't see it, but you're welcome to see me streaming live if you go to my website, lisaakbari.com, and that's lisaakbari.com, and you can tune in live, see me streaming live, or you can go to my YouTube page, and that's under Lisa Akbari. There we go. And you'll have me. Or you can tune in and listen up if you have the free iHeart app, you can do that. Or if you go to my page and you click on the listen up on WDIA and iHeartRadio, then you're welcome to tune in there as well. And you can call in today. I'd love to hear from you. On this Sunday, beautiful Sunday, the day that the Lord has made. You can call in by dialing 901-535-9342. And that's 901-535-9342. So welcome to the show. Welcome. I miss you guys. I miss you when I'm not on the air. And I just do. And you guys are so wonderful. I get so many emails. I've got something in my hair. If you're streaming, you see me kind of picking at it. I think it's gone. It may be one of my little white friends, my white hair. See, there's Niecy. Always there. There you go, Niecy. We're going to put her on the camera. She doesn't want to be on camera today. Of course, I'm a pusher, so I always do what you guys don't want me to do. But anyways, the show is going to be great. We're going to talk about hair, and we're going to talk about aging hair. As I get older, does my hair age? Aging me, aging hair. Interesting. Am I just going to have hair loss because I'm older? Is it stress, diet, or nerves? Also split ends, because last week we were supposed to talk about split ends and we didn't do it. So we're here talking about split ends as well. And I found my little small earbuds, and they gave me a nice little attachment here at the WDIA studios so that I wouldn't mess up my fro, because normally I use that big giant studio headset. I don't like it at all because it messes up my fro, but I've made it work. But today I have my little earbuds and a attachment, so I'm pretty good. All right, so again, our phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-WDIA. Very good. Okay, now we are ready. Let's talk about split ends. We've got to do that before we get started because, I have a book called, the name of the book is Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. And Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair it has several chapters, and it talks about aging hair. So this is perfect to kind of speak about my books as we go on the show today, because my book and my books will allow you to understand my take on things as it relates to hair. Now, why is my take on all of this so important? Well, you have so many YouTubers out there, and you have so many people out there that are saying, okay, you should do this to your hair, and this made my hair grow, and this happened, and all those kinds of things. Well, we got to see. Well, I think I got some typos on my title, but we'll fix that later on. But anyways, but I'm a trichologist. So a trichologist is someone who studies hair. So that's basically what I do. I do every day. I study the strands. I analyze the strands in the scalp. I have a clinic called World Trichology Institute. I have a school, a cosmetology institute, and that's basically what I do. And so I want to give my take because I think that you as a consumer deserve to hear what is really supposed to be said about your hair. I think that there are a lot of professionals out there. We have cosmetologists who are doing everything they can to help you. There are dermatologists out there who can help us with scalp disease and different diseases of the skin. Trichology is somewhere between the middle. We kind of bridge the gap between cosmetology and dermatology. We're somewhere there. So we can help with the science of hair, its diseases, its disorders, its connection to the scalp. So I'm going to give that take. And I thought I'd say that before we started the show today, because who am I to tell you about your hair? Well, I am a professional and one that really is tuned in to what is going on with, we got a phone line? Okay, so we're going to go right to our phone line, but I'm someone who is going to tell you the truth. Okay, so let's go to our phone lines. Hi, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. Do you have a question for me? Good evening. How do you guys know my birthdays? Who is this? Anita. Oh, hi, Anita. Okay, Anita gave me a hang up. Okay. You too, Anita. Thank you for the birthday wish. Anita gave me a birthday wish, but she has a very good question as we talk about aging hair. She said, how does menopause affect your hair? And how does it affect hair loss and all those things? So she wanted me to hang up, and she wanted to hang up and listen to the answer. Well, your hair grows in cycles. And as you get older, and females, and she's a female, females may have something, it's a hormonal imbalance where they can lose hair. Now, keep in mind, the follicle has to be sensitive to this. Not always, you may not always lose hair during menopause. The follicle has to be sensitive to this. And some of this is genetically linked as well. So we have to keep that in mind. What happens as we get older and we start going through menopause, or as some call it, the change of life, what happens, we will have a situation where our estrogen levels, that's the female hormone, will begin to drop, as our testosterone levels, that's that male hormone, we do have them, will begin to rise. And that imbalance can affect, not always, it can affect the way your follicle functions. If it affects the way your follicle functions, then you may have a malfunctioning of the follicle, causing your hair to start this miniaturization process, hair follicle, where you begin to lose the width of the follicle, lose the ability for the follicle to function properly, lose the ability for the follicle to produce a hair. And if that happens, then you will begin to see this diffuse thinning on your head. Now, with that being said, you have to keep in mind, sometimes you're looking at thinning hair and you're thinking is something relating to menopausal, but it's just thinning strands. So what I want you to do is look in the mirror, and I want you to part your hair down the middle. And then if you see what's looking like a Christmas tree part, where your parts are not nice and narrow, then it's a possibility that you have female pattern baldness or some other type of internal follicular problem. At that point, you need to see a trichologist, and you want to see one that uses a handheld microscope so that trichologist, that professional, can check your density. Your density is your hairs per square inch, if they're consistent in numbers, and if they are inconsistent, as you're reading, when you see that inconsistency in your part, then they will check one or two things. One, they'll check two things. One, they'll check to see if that's a villus hair or a transitional hair. The characteristics of female pattern baldness, it's very obvious when you view it under the microscope. So they will check to see if that's a problem with the actual follicle itself malfunctioning, because you will see a villus or a transition hair lacking color, very small, inability to have some length, those types of things. Next, they'll look for scalp plugs, because just because it has the pattern of female pattern baldness does not mean that it is actually female pattern baldness. It could be a problem with an external follicular problem where there are blockages around the mouth of the follicle. A trichologist can treat that. A endocrinologist, dermatologist, gynecologist would have to treat the internal. One of those practitioners, but a trichologist can treat the external. That would mean the blockages. So the first step, if you are losing hair and you see those density changes, is to have an examination by a trichologist, and they will direct you a right practitioner that can help you with this problem. Now, the other thing that you'll notice with menopausal is a more indirect problem, not necessarily density changes, but you may notice that your hair is dry, inability to hold a style, you're having problems. Now, we have to differentiate this, okay? Be careful, because sometimes you're just not taking care of your hair. We got to acknowledge that. So first, we start taking better care of our hair. What do I mean by that? Making sure we're shampooing on a regular basis, cleaning inside of 7 days, okay? Making sure that we deep condition, making sure we hydrate on a daily basis. And you don't always hydrate heavy if you're having, if you don't have natural hair, if you have relaxed hair, you may just make sure that the ends are hydrated, or make sure you glaze your hand and just smooth moisturizer through on a daily basis. But you have to take care of your hair. And once you've done that, but you still have the dryness, then we have to look at, again, seeing a trichologist, and that is their specialty. One of the things I specialize in myself in my practice is I specialize in dehydrated hair. That's a hair dehydration, is a hair disorder, and that can come with menopausal. So those are just two of the things that could come, and those things happen as we age, all right? But it doesn't have to, you don't have to lay victim to it. All right, our phone lines are open. If you're just tuning in and I see you guys are logging on, you can tune in and call in by dialing 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342 or WDIA. I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, and you've tuned in to Ask the Hair Doctor. I'm here each and every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, I'd like to say to you, welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. Split ends. I was just talking about my book before I got a call, and one of the things in my book, Aging Hair, or Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair at Any Age, which, by the way, guys, I'm on every Tuesday with my cyber reading, and we're just about to wrap up on YouTube, live streaming every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're just about to wrap up Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair, and one of the things that I'm going to do after that is go into my next book, Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair at Any Age. Now, with that, one of the chapters in that book is called Split Ends: to trim, or not to trim? That's the question. So we're going to talk a little bit before we get into does aging affect my hair? We're going to talk a little bit about the split ends. We just answer that question. Do I have to trim my ends? How often should I trim my ends? Those are really good questions. Number one, you don't have to trim your ends. What? I know that's what you're saying. My stylist has always told me I have to trim my ends. Well, let me tell you why she says that, or he says that. They're saying that because if you don't trim your ends, they believe that your ends will split and tear into the healthier hair. Well, in that case, that is true. But if you have two options in dealing with split ends. Number one, you can trim them or you can treat them. And the way you do this, if you do not trim them, you must treat them. If you do not treat them, you must trim them. So to trim or not to trim, yeah, that's the question. But you can eliminate the trimming if you treat them. I don't trim my ends. I haven't trimmed my ends in years, actually. And I don't do it because I treat them every day. Every night, I treat my ends. How do you do that? Number one, you've got to deep condition. That's crucial. And that's something we don't do enough of. The number two, on a daily basis, you want to, when you're applying your hair products, you want to grab the ends and you want to apply with your fingers and thumb, sliding the hair product, your moisturizer. I would say a good leave-in conditioner first. And I have one called Hair Vitamin on my website. You can go to lisaakbari.com and view that product. Wonderful, wonderful. I love it. And then you use your Moisture Plus. Depending on the time of year or the climate, wherever you are, if you're in a very dry climate, then you want to use your Moisture Plus, and then you want to seal it with your oils. So we have hair vitamins, Moisture Plus, emulsion in a jar. Those are basically the three that will treat your ends every day. And I have a hair product. Even though I'm a trichologist and my focus is on examining the hair and scalp and making sure that we make proper recommendations for your cosmetologist or for you, I have a hair product because of the demand for a quality product that can do things. It makes it a whole lot easier for you to do things and get right to the point and what we need. If you're just tuning in, welcome to the show. I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, and for the next, say, 30, 40 minutes, I'm going to be your hair doctor. That's right. And you can tune in and call in by dialing 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. Let me see if I can find a way to see, because some of you may just want to chat. I don't know if we can do that. I'm going to try. Do you have it over there, Nisi? And we always have to welcome Nisi and Mark because, I tell you, they just get me in line over here at the WDIA studios and help me. Okay, here we go. So let's see if I can go on here and let's see if I can mute it out. I'm going to mute it out here so I won't.
Cindy said.
Yeah. Someone said hi.
Okay,
hello
here we
there,
go. So let's see if I
Cindy.
can go on.
Okay, let's go there. There we go. All right, so, and let's see here if I can correct. Getting older, cause while I'm in here, I can go in and make this correction. And Nisi said, hello, everybody. Okay, guys, so we know that we have an ability to chat. Right, so I think we've corrected that little typo in there. Okay, so if you're tuning in, I want to make sure I invite you guys to call in. If you'd like to call in and ask a question, again, that number is 901-535-9342. And we have a caller. So let's go to our phone lines. Let me get back over here. There we are. Oh, we have two calls. Hello, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a question for me. Hello. I'm well. Thank you for calling in. How are you today on this Sunday? Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Yes. Those little short hairs. Are you using a brush? Do you brush your hair? Not really? Okay. So do you have natural hair? Okay. And so you have to detangle, you find yourself having to detangle some? Yeah. So what the question here is, you're pulling your hair back, and when you pull your hair back, you're noticing these little short hairs. These short hairs will not lay down, and they're sticking up, and you're finding yourself using moisturizers. You're finding you're having to use gel to make it work. And you're probably fearful of the gel because you know it dries it out. Right. Okay, I got it. Okay, this is what's happening. Those are hairs that are broken. Sure. Okay. Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so she's going to hang up so that she can hear the question. And if you have a question, guys, please stay on because I try to get through my entire question before I take another call. So I know you're calling in and I'm missing some of your calls, but I'm right here for you. Okay, now, when you have those little short hairs sticking up and you've been pulling your hair back, you have some little bit of detangling, you're not rough with your hair. I'm not saying that you are, but usually that's going to be hair that's been broken. So in other words, your hair has broken, so now that hair is so much shorter than the other hairs, and it'll be throughout the head. If you ever use a brush, if you've ever detangled, if you've ever, what happens, any of that can cause it. And I'm not saying that caused hers. It could be a number of things. Anything, your hair, anything that overexposed your hair is going to be able to tolerate a certain amount of low moisture levels. Like it can get dry to a certain degree, and then after that, the hair literally falls apart. Your hair can be brushed, and then it can create microscopic tears. After that, the hair literally falls apart. Same with detangling and all those things. You have a certain amount of layers, that protective layers, those cuticle layers. Those layers are like sentinels. They are just guards. They're guarding your cortical fibers. It's kind of like a rope. So when you rub against that, you rough with it, you're styling it, you're doing all these things, you're letting it be dry, you're pulling it back, you're doing all these things to your hair. What happens is those little layers will pop, pop, pop. So soon you have lost the appropriate amount of layers, just like a rope. See it? Little fibers. You've lost the appropriate amount of layers required in order to hold that strand together. So your hair ends up breaking. So what you probably have are just split, broken hairs. That does not mean that your hair is going to always be like that. The follicle itself, if the hair is there, is functioning. As long as you have a follicle that's functioning, then you will get length. Your job right now is to obtain length. Now, what do we do about it? I'm going to recommend two of my products. Number one, I'm going to recommend hair vitamin. And understand me, ladies and gentlemen and folks out there, if it's not broke, don't fix it. In other words, if you have good products you love, great. But I want to tell you about what I know works. Okay, so let's get that clear. So first one is hair vitamin. You want to take a little bit, put it on your fingers. And once you put it on your fingers, then you're going to make sure that you take those short hairs and you're going to find them. And you're going to use your forefinger, your thumb and your fingers, and you're going to slide it down those ends everywhere you see those short hairs. And then you're going to come back with your moisturizer. You're looking for the end of that hair, no matter how short it is. And when you do that, what you're doing is you're taking those ends and you're treating them. Hair is just dead keratinized cells. When your hair strands are broken, it doesn't mean the hair is any more dead. It just means that the hair has lost its ability to obtain that particular length in those areas. You can help it attain length because your follicle is functioning, so you can get longer hair, but you just have to treat the ends, just like we talked about the split ends. It's the same thing. It's like, oh my goodness, could it be that simple? Yes. I'm not oversimplifying this. It is really that simple. So all you need to do is, number one, stop the gel. Stop the gel. You want to put your hair vitamin and your moisture. You want a dense moisturizer. So you can use Moisture Plus, or you can use one of our more dense ones, like naturally textured. And then you can put that on here, smooth it flat, tie it down with a silk satin scarf at night. Just do a loose plait in the back. And then you can, in the morning, you can get up and you take that down, put a little extra oil sheen in a jar on it, and then it should stay down for the day. Each night, that's what you do. Okay? You're going to be fine. I promise you that. We have programs on my site for split ends and broken hair or short, weak hair or things like that. Then you can go to my site. As long as you don't see any problems like bald spots or anything like that, the hair is growing, those hairs are broken, they will never catch up with the longer hair, but they will eventually grow as long as the longer hair is now. But remember, the longer those short hairs get, the longer the other hair that's already there is going to get. So you would have to eventually, once it grows down to the appropriate length that you're okay with, then you just cut everything even again. And that's going to take its time because the hair grows at a rate of about 1/2 inch every 4 to 8 weeks on the average adult, maybe children, adolescents, or young adults in their 20s. It's all genetically linked. The hair may grow 1 inch every 4 weeks. Okay. All right. So that's a great, outstanding question. My phone line is open. I did lose a call because I was busy with this question and this answer, but you can call me at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. Welcome to the show. I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari and the host of Ask the Hair Doctor, and I'm here each and every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I just want to welcome you guys. I just love y'all so much. You know how much I love my cyber family. And I thank you. Somebody, you guys, who told someone my birthday was coming up?
I just heard you.
Did you do it, Niecy? Niecy's like, no, I didn't do it. Even Mark knew my birthday was coming up, but I don't know. He's going to tell me that before I get out of this studio today. But yes, my birthday is coming up, and I am going to be such and such little years younger. Thank you very much. Phone lines. Okay, let's go back to our phone lines. Hello, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a question for me? Yes. Yes. Your hair is colored honey blonde and it's dry a lot. So what would I use for moisture? Do you want to hang up and listen, or you can stay on the line? Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, she's going to hang up and listen. And then, hello, caller. If you can hold on, we'll be right with you, okay? I'm just going to answer this question. Okay, so when you have color-treated hair and your hair is dry, what happens with color-treated hair, the color change, especially what she mentioned, honey blonde, the color change happens in your cortical fibers. That's the area where your strength bonds are. The maximum amount of retention for moisture is held. All of that happens in the cortex. What happens when you color treat your hair and you take it from dark hair to, say, honey blonde, as she mentioned, then what happens, that hair, you're drawing color pigments, dark pigments away, and you're raising those to a lighter tone. The moisture level, the higher you go up, the lower the moisture level goes. So if you're just, say, running conditioner through, or you're doing things like, instant conditioners, as I said, or you're conditioning once a week, then that may be a problem. I would suggest several things. Number one, if you have natural hair, or if you have a quick fix hairstyle or something you can handle on your own, I would say deep condition twice a week. And deep conditioning is going to be outstanding for you because it's going to give you, number one, protein, and it's going to give you moisture. There's a delicate protein and moisture level within the fiber that must stay balanced. If you deep condition twice a week, then you're going to have an opportunity to have strong and hydrated hair. Don't use protein alone, and do not use moisture alone, because you'll have hard, brittle hair with protein alone, and you'll have flowery, frizzy hair with moisture alone. So remember that. Second, you want to think about your styling. If you're doing styles and you get it on the dryer, all of that lowers your moisture level. So you have to do this. Instead of getting in the dryer, say 30 minutes, if you say I need 45 minutes on dryer time or 30 minutes on dryer time, use 15 minutes of that on cool, and then 15 minutes of that on warm. That's your 30 minutes. Split it in half. You say, well, it won't dry. Yes, it will. It will start to dry. The warm, after it's been cool, it'll dry even faster. So remember that. And then daily, you have to think about daily hydrating. If it's relaxed hair, you want to use products that are going to be up, because the cuticle is going to be, in many cases, we've lost cuticle, the hair is straight, we're concerned about going limp. You want to use something, we have a product called hydration. You want to use that product on the hair, and then once you put that on, you can seal it with the oil. That's going to give you soft, and it's going to seal it in. So deep conditioning is the #1 thing. Looking at your chemicals, making sure you're not getting them too often. I don't know how Nisi thinks I can talk and smile at the same time. She's taking pictures, guys. I love you, Nisi, but I can't talk and smile at the same time. Okay, but anyways, so just remember that. How often am I getting this color? You want to make sure, if you're getting a permanent color, you want to make sure that you're only getting about 12 weeks, ladies. Stop getting them so soon. If you have little white friends that are coming in, your little gray hair, in other words, you brush on. Use your brush on colors, and those you can email me and I can tell you how to get those, lisaakbari.com. Okay, so hopefully that answered your question, and let's go to our phone lines. Hello there, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a question for me? You don't? Okay, so you just wanted to say hi? Okay, well, hello. Thank you so much for calling. You have a blessed and wonderful day, okay? All right, bye-bye. Oh, that was so precious. She just wanted to say hi. I have a question.
Yeah.
On Snapchat, how does one keep short hair moisturized when you have no, what's the rest of it? You have no what? I think you get all of it. Okay, we have a question on Snapchat. How does one keep short hair moisturized when you have no lye relaxer? I know that's an excellent question, because think about it. No lye relaxers. Let me get this person on. Hi, caller. Can you hold on for me? Okay, hold on. Okay, this question we have now from Snapchat is, how do one keep their hair hydrated when you have a no lye relaxer? Well, no lye relaxers do, in fact, lower the moisture levels more than sodium hydroxide relaxers, and most people don't know that. Okay, the molecular weight that within that product and how it expands the strand, that's greater than a sodium hydroxide relaxer, believe it or not. So it's hard to retain your moisture. So I would say that, again, these are all, think about hair. Hair is just dead keratinized cells. You're going to have some of the same answers, but consistency is that's going to be the biggie. If I had to say one thing with caring for our hair and keeping it healthy, stay consistent. So yes, you're going to have to deep condition. You're going to have to deep condition your hair, and you're going to need to do that at least every 7 days. You're going to have to. And if you know you have color treated hair, and you know how you have all these problems with your hair, weak hair, and you may have to do it twice a week. The other thing is the daily. You're going to have to do that as well. So keep that in mind. So if you have hair that's the no lye, first I would say transition over to a sodium hydroxide relaxer, staying within the pH of 10.5 to 11.5. Tell your stylist that you want to try to do that. Stay away from the no lyes, because let's face it, lye is just another form of, the no lyes is just another form of lye. You have sodium hydroxide lye, lithium hydroxide lye, potassium hydroxide lye. They're all lye relaxers. So it's a big lie to say they're no lye. So remember that, guys. That's a pretty good quote, right, Easy? Okay, I'm sure she's going to tweet that one out. Okay, so that's what my answer is for that. Let's go back to our phone lines. Hi there. How are you today? Welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a question for me? And if you're on hold, please stay on hold. I want to answer you. Yes, welcome to the show. Hey. Sure. No, it's called Hair Vitamin. That's a product. Yes, it's a leave-in conditioner that I make. Now, you want a good leave-in conditioner. If you have one, great, super, wonderful. But I just kind of make it easy for you by telling you about mine. Yes. No, you can purchase it online. My website is, she wants to know if you could purchase my product online or have to come to the store. Absolutely. And in most places, you get it there in under a week. You get your product to you. And most places in our region, surrounding region, you get it there in a day if you order Monday through Friday. Okay, with that being said, you can go on my website, lisaakbari.com, and that's LISAAKBARI.com. And you can just go on and click on where it says product or online store, and they'll have all the products there. And if you have a question for me, you can always email me, and I can kind of clear up if there's not enough information there for you. Sure. Yes. Oh, no. Now, my products that I sell online, you don't have to have an analysis. Analysis is for folks who have a chronic case or situation that requires that special attention, where we need to deal with their specific problem. They've tried everything. They've tried products, and they still can't solve their problem. Then I can pinpoint and get right to them. You good. Okay, and callers, I know you're online, so hold on. I'm going to get you in just a minute. So you have gray. So you wanted to know if your hair lotion, do I have a lotion for that? The vitamin will help, but let me tell you something about gray hair. Gray is a loss of the color pigment that's found in the hair shaft. So the hair turns white. The gray is an illusion because you have the black or the dark and the white. So it looks gray. But with that being said, you also lose moisture when your hair turns white. So it's wiry, it's unruly, it just doesn't behave. Besides sticking up in the front of your head, it just unruly. So you've got to hydrate it every day. So you want a dense moisturizer, and you want to make sure the vitamin will help, but you want to lay it down, and you just take your forefinger and thumb, and you want to smooth and grab those white hairs with your moisturizer, and you go all the way around those areas, and you'll find it much more hydrated. And of course, you need to do your deep conditioning. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello and welcome to the show. Sorry to keep you holding. Hi there. Hi, Orly. How you doing? Okay. And that's why we're here. Okay. Okay, so this is what you need to do. It sounds like you're out of balance. Okay, so what I'm going to say to you is, number one, get busy with your daily. Because I know that you're shampooing and you're conditioning and you're doing all those wonderful things, but you've got to get busy with your daily care. And are you relaxing your hair, or is it natural? You see, I got you. Okay, good. Yeah, and then look at this. When you're thinking about combing through it, be careful. Don't use a comb. And you know how we were just taught, hey, let me just use a wide tooth comb and work through my hair. Well, you can't do that. Number one, do not detangle your hair. Just make sure that using a comb. Make sure you're using your fingers and your thumb, and you press your leave-in product. I have one called Hydrating Detangling Souffle. Is wonderful for that. Or a good leave-in product, and press that into the tangle. Get to the core tangle, like taking a knot at a thread. You're just going to get right in there, put that leave-in product right on that spot. Use your forefinger and thumb, press it in, and then help slide it away. That's going to help with your hair staying balanced as well. So that's one thing you got to do. You just got to really look at your care. Yes, but see, the hair gets really dry because the hair is lacking something, or we're doing things, we're overdoing something. So what I mean by that is you're lacking that balance of protein and moisture. Some people will say, hey, I'm protein sensitive. You're not really protein sensitive unless you are breaking out and have a rash from the protein. Your hair is probably getting protein and not enough moisture. There's a delicate protein and moisture level in your hair shaft that must stay balanced. So you got to deep condition using protein and moisture, and you've got to hydrate daily. And I know it's like, wow, she's repeating that for everything, but it's only hair. It's hair, and hair is dead keratinized cells. It's very easy to protect and preserve it. You just can't overcomb it. You can't overbrush it. You got to condition it. You've got to care for it every day. You cannot just get up, well, tonight I'm just going to sleep on it. Well, the night that you don't control and manage your hair, it will control and manage you. Just remember that. So you've got to do every night. And that's why I say consistency is crucial. Okay? It's not hard. It's not hard. And tune into my videos. I have how many? 300 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of videos. 1,000, no. If you type in, or just kind of call our institute, they can help you with it if you're not online. But if you're online, if you type in Lisa Akbari and whatever split-ins, or Lisa Akbari and whatever, I'll have a whole show on it. So you can listen, and then we can help you out, okay? Thank you so much for calling. Make sure you keep tuning in to me. It will. Oh, that's okay. We're not going to let you get in a wig. You're going to be better, I promise you, okay? Thank you for calling. Bye-bye. Okay, this is great. Thank you guys so much for these calls. Okay, we have some chats here, a ton of chats. She said, hi, I'm Amber from Atlanta. I need to say hi to Amber from Atlanta because Amber from Atlanta is my niece. And all the Porters are here. We're here celebrating the homegoing of my brother-in-law's mother, which is her grandmother, Amber's grandmother. So my sister's here, and they're all here. They're at my mother's house. To my family, I love you so much. I feel that family is a gift from God, and I thank God for my family. And Amber has a question for me. She says, what hair routine/hair products do you recommend for someone who is transitioning from a relaxer to natural hair? Amber, we have a transitioning program, which makes it a lot easier. You know, I used to just recommend a product here and a product there, because what happens, you get home and you go, okay, I have these products, what do I do? So I started doing something which I know it's by the grace of God. I started writing these programs. That's what I call them. And programs are basically instructions: how to shampoo when you're transitioning, how to condition when you're transitioning, how to hydrate and treat your hair daily when you're transitioning. So that takes all the guesswork out, and it also lists the products that you need for that. The other thing that I did, which my cyber family, my YouTubers, you thousands and thousands of you went crazy, because I relaxed my hair in 2009 to show y'all how to transition. It was called the Big Relax. Oh my goodness, y'all got me on that one. I wanted to do it again because I thought it was much fun. Plus, I thought it was a great way to help people transition without doing the big chop. But I have those videos archived. So if you go on my website, or you go on YouTube and type in Lisa Akbari and transition, or the Big Relax, and it'll have all of those as I transition back to natural hair, which was much fun. Great. Okay, now the next question was Amber Gail. Okay, I think that was Nisi.
Gail.
Amber Gail.
No, it was Gail above.
Okay.
One was Amber, one
was Gail. Okay, Gail said, should hydrating and moisturizing be applied while hair is dripping wet, damp, or dry? Gail, that is an excellent question. Okay, number one, you do not want to put your products on while your hair is dripping wet. That's problematic for many reasons. I see it a lot in salons. So they put hair products on and their hair is dripping wet. It takes longer for the hair to dry. Remember that. So you want a towel block the hair to remove the excess water no matter what. You want the hair to almost dry, but it's still damp. So your answer is damp hair. Can you apply with the hair dry? Absolutely. But the main thing is if you apply it while the hair is wet, then as the hair dries, it's going to lock in more moisture. Because when your hair is wet, there's something called your hydrogen bonds, those first set of bonds that are open. And those bonds are receiving anything you put on the hair. And as they reform and dry, you're going to lock it in. So I would not only moisturize, if you're extremely dry hair, I would put oil on it as well. And you're going to seal it in. Now keep in mind that anything you put on your hair, you've got to have even distribution and product placement. So if you have even distribution and product placement, then you know that every part of your head is going to be covered. So be careful. Use what you need, because moistures and oils are support products, and use what you need. And if you've used too much and it's limp, use less the next time. So the answer to that question, should my hair be hydrated while it's wet, dripping wet, damp, or dry? I would have to say the answer is damp initially, and then when it's dry, you can do it daily. All right, let's go to our phone lines. Hi, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a question for me? Yes. Hey. Yes. Frustrated with it. Okay, well, you have two questions here. And just for the online folks, I'm going to repeat her question. She said that her hair, she gets her hair done in the salon, pays a lot of money to get that done. In 2 or 3 days, her hair style is falling. Okay, and then the other one is she wears a wig sometimes, and she wanted to know if the wig is damaging her hair. Let's answer the first one first. The first thing is the hairstyle is that simply that, a hairstyle, and it's temporary. But if you have a major problem with style retention, is usually in the health of the hair. One, you want to make sure that you are not over drying. So do you get a roller set when you get your hair done? Okay, I would suggest you, especially during humid times, I would suggest that you have your hair set always, and then once, make sure the setting lotion is not dehydrating. In other words, you don't have to have that hard set. You want to have a nice firm set, but you don't want to have a hard set. How long do you stay under the dryer? Okay, probably that's way too long, but whatever time, if they insist on 45 minutes to an hour, then you need to cut that down in half. You want half of that dryer time on cool and half of that dryer time on warm. When you get to, after you finish cool, you want to spray a holding spray on the hair. Make sure that the spray, we have one called Sculpture Mist. You can go on my website or come in one of my stores and purchase it. Take it in. Your stylist will probably be okay with using it. Once you finish the cool setting, then you spray it with the Sculpture Mist, and then you do the warm setting. It'll dry faster, and that will lock in that holding spray, and it'll hold. Now, you can't just use any spray, because some of them have a high alcohol content and they dehydrate your hair. So be careful with that. Then immediately after the hair is dry, you want to take a small amount of oil, and you want to glaze your fingers and seal each curl. Not heavy, seal each curl. What that's going to do is block out the humidity, hold in the style. Now, lastly, you need to dress your hair for bed. You don't need to put a bonnet on it, which most people like to do. You don't need to put a bonnet on it. You need to make sure that you are pin curling the hair, taking each curl and rolling it around your finger, and then put in a bobby pin, not a hairpin because it'll stick your scalp, a bobby pin on it. And or you need to roll it with something called sentinel rollers or satin rollers, but don't pull your hairline. You got to dress your hair for bed, because if you don't do it, you're going to have a problem. Lastly, the wig. Wigs are not bad. Wigs are great options, because what I like about a wig is that my patients will shampoo their hair as often as I need them to if they have a wig. Because what happens when you don't have time to style your hair, you always have time to shampoo your hair and condition it. And let me tell you how I know, because we're taking a shower or a bath every day, right? So we can shampoo and condition our hair every 3 days or every 7 days, and we can go in and we can put our leave-in products on, our vitamins, our moisturizers, our oils, and then we can plait the hair, and then we could put like a treatment turban on it. And you can call my institute if you want to know more about our treatment turbans, and then you can put your wig on. And it's done. So you got a clean scalp, clean wig, no bonnet, no stocking cap, because all that messes with your hairline. The bonnet causes a problem with traction and friction. So it's going to cause your pulling and rubbing. So then you're done. So you're good. Thank you so much for calling. Have a great day. Okay, bye-bye. You guys are on it. I mean, you guys are doing really great. Okay, I think I got, can your products be used on relaxed hair? Absolutely. You know, people see me with natural hair. That's a chat question I'm just answering. People see me with natural hair and they think, oh, everything is about natural hair. Well, I'm a trichologist. So I work with hair that's naturally straight, hair that's relaxed, hair that's naturally kinky. I love my kinky hair. I usually have my I love my hair button on, but I don't today. I'm not going to take nieces this time.
I'm gonna have one.
Denise says she won't have one. I know, but I forgot mine today. That's okay. Okay. But I usually have that on. I do love my hair, but you know what? Hair is, there you go. Niecy's so sweet. I'll give it back after the show. I don't have, here's my I love my hair button. Anyways, so I do that. I love natural hair, but I still treat relaxed hair. I have people who are wearing relaxed hair and they just need that help. So I'm a professional. So yes, all the products I make can be used on both natural hair and relaxed hair. All right, so that answered the question. We have about 8 minutes left, but I want to get to some of these questions. This question is from my YouTube page. She said, I have too many issues with my scalp. I have sores, I have itchy, flaky. My scalp is worse than when I used to relax it. I've even tried everything. Now listen to the things she's tried. I've tried bananas, yogurt, vinegar, honey, milk. Help me stop the madness. You do need help, dear, because this is definitely madness. No, these things are going to cause a buildup. They're food products, so they're going to be a problem. So be really careful with doing that, okay? The yogurt, eat it with the bananas. Just don't put it on your head. Vinegar, do something else with it. It's a pH is too low. The yogurt and bananas is going to cause a negative buildup, and it's going to cause a problem with souring on your hair. Vinegar is really too low in the pH, and it's going to dehydrate. I know that you use vinegar a lot, and that's something that we can address on another show. We don't have time today. Honey is definitely, the molecular weight is too large. It's going to stick. Now honey may be okay, but it has to be used properly. But you cannot. I don't know how it was served with your scalp. It would actually make things worse probably. And milk as well. These are products that you don't need to use on your scalp. With that being said, you can go to my website. I have a program for the scalp that's going to help. But I want to tell you, number one, we want to take a look and see. And if you don't have a trichologist in your area, we want to take a look and see what's happening with your scalp. Why is your scalp sore? Why is it flaking? Why is it itching? Those signs are all signs that there's something more serious going on with your scalp. Number one, if you're losing hair, remember the telltale signs is an itchy, flaky, tender scalp. So scalp problems left untreated can be problematic and cause a problem with hair loss eventually. So we have to solve this. So first, you want to make sure that you are using make sure you get this addressed. So see a trichologist. If the problem is persistent, see a dermatologist. You've got to do that. Or you can try my program online for itchy scalp. The next question is, what is a good deep conditioner for low porosity hair? What pH should I use? In your conditioners, most conditioners are going to be more acidic in reaction, which is important because the pH of the hair is more acidic in reaction. So with that being said, I recommend a conditioner that has protein and moisture. On my website, it's going to help equalize your porosity, whether it's low or high. I have the deep penetrating protein and moisture conditioner that will work great for you. And then someone said, great show. How often do I clip my ends? Remember I said in the beginning of the show, it's to trim or not to trim. That's the question. When you have split ends, if your ends are split, you want to make sure that you treat the ends. If you don't treat the ends, you have to trim the ends. If you trim the ends, you don't trim the ends, you have to treat the ends. So that's daily hydrating, small amount of your oil to seal, and those ends will seal in so they don't split back into the healthy hair. I don't believe that you have to trim your hair. I believe that if you trim because of shape. I want to groom my hair, or I want to get rid of my split ends. But you don't have to get rid of your split ends. You can, in fact, make sure those split ends are treated. Okay, and the other question is, have you heard of a product called Olaplex? It's supposed to repair the bonds in the hair. What do you think about this product? Okay, that particular product is pretty much designed to seal broken bonds within the hair. I have not tested it. I don't know how true it is, but I do know that if you have poor elasticity, you definitely want products that are going to balance your protein and moisture levels. Because what happens is, with the hair mostly being composed of protein, you need something that's going to strengthen and hydrate. Be careful with a lot of products that claim to do things with the cortex. Be careful, because the cortex, that means you're not going to completely repair. Again, this is really hard to say because I can tell you right away, I have not tested this product. But I will tell you, don't look for a miracle, because it's not going to happen. You want things that will slowly get your hair cuticle to become more compact around your cortical fiber so that you have an increase in elasticity, so the hair stops breaking and it looks fuller. So that's what's my answer to that. I got through all those questions and I just lost a couple of phone calls, but we're almost out of time. But I have one question online. It says, my hair is half black natural and half permanent hair color. The curl pattern in the color hair is looser. Should I treat my hair as if I was transitioning? Absolutely. If you have a line of demarcation or a line of difference, as I like to call it, Lisa gave me this pen and I never put it on. Okay, let me put it on. Okay. If you have that, then you want to make sure that you work with the most dominant hair strands, and the most dominant strands are going to be your natural hair, or the hair that has the least amount of chemical, because that's the strongest hair. So make sure you keep that in mind. Okay, so you want to work with your ends, and then you want to go back and you want to work with the hair close to the scalp. Very important. And what are you doing? You're putting your leave-in product on that area of the ends, and then you're putting them on the area of the hair close to the scalp, and then you're taking your fingers and thumb and working all the way down to the ends. So that's how you do it. And when you do the same thing when you're deep conditioning, you start with the ends, and then you go to the scalp hair, and then you work all the way down. And why do you go to the ends first? Because with the ends, you are going to have an opportunity to open the hair without tangling. Okay, I think we have, about 60 seconds left? Do we have 30 seconds? Okay, Mark. All right, well, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for your calls today. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. I'll see you Tuesday. Remember, Tuesday on my show, my cyber reading, and I'll see you on next Sunday on Ask the Hair Doctor. I love you. To God be the glory in Jesus. Have a great day. Hey, guys, I am on. Thank you so much, Gail. We're all done. I will see you guys really soon. Thank you again. All right. See you Tuesday. Bye. Savings up to 35% on special buys. Shop now and save.